Today we are going to talk about Hinduism and Buddhism. We're going to look at both religions and we're going to compare contrast the two at the end, okay? All right, here we go. So, Hinduism. The religion of Hinduism is based on Aryan religious beliefs. So, as we talked about in the last set of notes, the Aryans came down and they were nomadic, but they did have a set of religious beliefs from the Vedas. Okay, so the Vedas is the collection of hymns and ceremonies that they had with them. This is the oldest Hindu sacred text, and Hinduism is the religion of most of the Indian people today. Early Hindus believed in an ultimate reality. There was a god, the head god or the supreme being is Brahman. Okay, the individual self or the Atman had the duty to come to know this ultimate reality and to achieve what's called moksha. And then the self would merge with Brahman, and that's what moksha is. And it's that union with Brahman. Okay. So the idea of reincarnation came into Hinduism around the 6th century BC. So reincarnation is the idea that after death, the individual soul is reborn in a different form. And so after many existences, your soul may unite with Brahman. Like I said, that's called moksha. That's the ultimate goal of all individuals, okay? So karma is an important part of this process. So it's the idea that people's actions determine their form of rebirth and the class into which they are reborn if they're reborn as a person. So you could be reborn as lots of things. Okay, you can be reborn as an animal. You could be reborn as like they worship cows. Okay, so there's all kinds of things you could be reborn as. Anyway, but if you're reborn as a person, if you have good karma, and I try to explain this in the last set of notes too, if you have good karma, you'll move up in the caste system, which we'll talk more about in a moment. But the higher you go, the closer you get to moksha. Okay? And so the divine law or dharma, this is what rules karma. Okay? So it requires that all people do their duty. Okay? And this varies with your caste. So the higher the caste you are, the higher the social duties and expectations you have. So if you're a Brahmin, then you're a priest. If you're a Kshatriya, you're a warrior or ruler, okay, et cetera, et cetera. So the system of reincarnation provided a religious basis for the caste system, which, like I said, we did talk about in the last set of notes. We even used this graphic right here. So the fewer privileges, for example, the fewer privileges you have, the lower the class you are. So these fewer privileges were justified because they were considered less deserving because they must have been bad in their previous life. Okay, so this is what really makes the outcasts so low. Okay, because they were low anyway, but now they were so bad that they're outcasts. They're not even part of the caste system anymore. They're untouchable. If you were to touch them, you might taint your soul. But reincarnation gives hope to the lower classes because, yeah, my life really is not fun as a Sudra, as just a plain old laborer. But if I'm really good in this life, in my next life, I could become a Vaishya. I can make a little more money. I can have a little more comfortable life. If I'm good there, oh man, then I'm going to be a Kshatriya. That can really give me a nice, comfortable life. And then if I'm good there, I'm a Brahmin, I'm on the top, I'm almost to moksha. Okay, and then if I'm good there, then I am achieving moksha, oneness with Brahman. Okay, so there is a way to move up, but it takes several lifetimes. So yoga means union, and this was developed as a practice to achieve oneness with God. This union was a kind of dreamless sleep. Okay, so you were meant to meditate during this. And Hinduism is a religion that is polytheistic. Okay, so there's three chief gods. So Brahma, who we've talked about, and then he's the creator. Then Vishnu is the destroyer, and then Shiva. I'm sorry, Vishnu is the preserver, and then Shiva is the destroyer. And then the many gods and goddesses give ordinary Hindus a way to express their everyday religious feelings. And this happens through devotion at a temple, where you seek not only your salvation, but also a way of getting the ordinary things out of life. Okay, so you can pray for your own life and your own things. Okay, moving on to Buddhism. So Buddhism is going to develop around the 6th century BC, about the same time that reincarnation becomes more of a major belief in Hinduism. And there's a new doctrine called Buddhism, and it's going to appear in northern India, and it's going to rival Hinduism. So the founder is Siddhartha Gautama, and he is known as the Buddha. Okay, Buddha means the enlightened one. He was very, very wealthy. But then he became aware of life suffering. So there's some really great things in life, but there's some really, not so great things like death, disease, old age. So he gave up everything. He gave up all his wealth in order to find the meaning of life and the cure for human suffering. So at first, when he went out, he was ascetic. Okay, what that means is he practiced self-denial. So he abused his body like he didn't eat, he didn't sleep, he abused his body in ways to help bring about enlightenment, but that never brought about enlightenment. So he entered a period of intense meditation, and one evening he was able to reach enlightenment. This is over many, many years. And he spent the rest of his life teaching what he had learned from this. Okay, so deprivation is not necessarily what's going to achieve enlightenment. It is meditation, okay, becoming oneness with your soul. So these teachings are the basis of Buddhism. So they say that the physical realm is illusional, and desires, attachments to the physical actually cause suffering. And so we give up these attachments. Giving these up leads to wisdom or bodhi. And achieving wisdom, this is a key step in achieving nirvana. This is the ultimate goal, is nirvana, or ultimate reality. So this is a reunion with the great world soul. So there's a great soul in the universe, and you get to join with that. So the essential Buddhist teachings concern the Four Noble Truths. Okay, so the Four Noble Truths they're over here on the right here. So life has inevitable suffering. There is a cause to our suffering, and there's an end to the suffering, but the end of suffering is contained in the Eightfold Path. So you can achieve the end of suffering by following the Eightfold Path. Okay, so this right here is the Eightfold Path. And so this wheel is a symbol of Buddhism. Okay, so you have to have right view, you have to know what the truth is, you have to have right intentions, so you have to free your mind of evil, you have to be doing it for the right reason, you have to have right speech, so you don't hurt anybody through your speech, right action, so you're doing good and doing it for the right reasons, right livelihood, so you respect life, right effort, so you resist evil, right concentration, where you practice meditation, and then right mindfulness, where you control your thoughts. And so Siddhartha had accepted reincarnation but rejected the Hindu caste system. And he appealed to those in the lower caste because, well, if I'm an untouchable and I don't have to be an untouchable my whole life, I can be Buddhist and I can be equal. Why wouldn't I want to do that? But after his death in 480 BC, his followers began to spread the message throughout India. And monasteries were established in order to promote Buddhism. And there's very many monasteries in northern India, Nepal, Bhutan, in those areas. All right, so now we're going to do the processor, which is the Venn diagram. We'll go ahead and do it together, and then you don't really have any homework then. All right, here we go. So let's look at things that are similar first between Hinduism and Buddhism. Okay, so we have first, both began in India. I know this doesn't line up exactly to my Venn diagram, but I did my best. So both began in India. Go ahead and type that in. Both believe in reincarnation. Karma is important, so your actions in one life can affect your next one. And then let's go over to Hinduism, things that make it different from Buddhism. So it's polytheistic. The holy text is called the Vedas. The ultimate goal is to achieve moksha, which is union with Brahman. And then to achieve moksha, you got to follow the laws of karma and dharma through those cycles of rebirth that we talked about. And then in Buddhism, it's an atheist religion, which means there's no gods, although some sects are polytheistic. So there's different sections of Buddhism that believe different things in regards to gods. Some are even monotheistic. Some just say the Buddha is a god. The holy text is the Tripitaka. So this is a collection, it's 3 books that has like the teachings and the sermons of Buddha. The ultimate goal is nirvana. Okay, so that's spiritual enlightenment. And to achieve nirvana, you have to follow the 4 Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path. All right, and that's all I got for you today. This was a nice short one. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.